Hey everybody, this is Amanda from Amanda's Budgets. I'm here to do my October budget with me. This is an all new budgeting method for me. I am used to budgeting weekly. I am now earning my income bi-weekly, and I also have gig work, YouTube, and I have a little bit of Etsy money coming in. So we're going to be doing all the things in this video. I hope you guys like my new little ambiance for the holiday. We are going to be doing a little bit more decorating for Halloween. I do decorate with pumpkins, fall stuff, so on and so forth. I usually don't put stickers on my Happy Planner. I was when I first started doing budgeting on YouTube because I felt like it was necessary, but then I realized that I didn't really like all the stuff all over the place, and I liked my simple way of doing things. So I'm excited. I love all the pumpkins. I love all the hot drinks coming out. I have my sweater on. I am ready for fall. We have all of our bills laid out here. We have them in green, and then our variable will be in a different color. Variable expenses are going to be groceries, family needs, personal needs, self-care, pet supplies, household supplies, whatever variable expense comes along. And then we're going to have another color that is going to be unplanned, unbudgeted expenses. I do keep track of those things when making a budget for the following year. So let's get into it. We have our 2 paydays here. This is mainly the day that my husband is getting paid. He will be involved in all of the budgeting. He is anyway, whether he likes it or not, right? That's just part of having a spouse and 2 incomes. So his checks and my checks will be budgeted together because we now both are W-2 workers. If you don't know what that means, it just means that I'm employed by somebody. I'm not just self-employed. Gig work is or was my full-time income, his full-time income. So that is now a side hustle. It's a big side hustle. It is going to be part of our bill system. Eventually, the hope is that gig work will turn into house savings, sinking funds that need to be saved for emergency funds, so on and so forth. That way, we can utilize our checks for bills and needs in a little bit of wants and cover everything else with side hustles. So each week or each bi-weekly check will have its allotment for bills. I'm 100% sure that we will have October's rent before the 5th. And I'm going to be doing that with gig work. I already have $1,000. If you watched my previous video, I have $1,000 out of the $1,300 that I need. I felt like that was doable. We did hit our $2,260 goal, which was really super duper exciting, made me happy. I was nervous the whole time, waiting for a paycheck to roll through. I did get one small paycheck, and then of course I got a full-time paycheck later. You know how the changing job scene works. So there is that, and then we have phones, insurance, utilities, and then I have 2 bills that I put on my goals list, our written plan. So this plan that I went over 2 or 3 videos ago, this needs to be implicated in order for me to move forward on to reevaluating my budget to devise a plan or for anything else for that matter, you know, a plan for large or small goals. So one of them is taxes. So I have to pay my tax consultant, and then I also have to pay the filing fee. If you are self-employed, it does cost a lot more to do taxes, especially if you're unsure and you want somebody to do it for you professionally. And if you can't do it for yourself and you feel uncomfortable like me, I'm going to pay somebody so it's done right. And then if there is a boo-boo, I can go to that person and be like, well, this is what happened. So we have our credit cards due. Credit card number 1 will be back down to 0. I'm super excited about that because I had to utilize that credit card while I was waiting for a check. I figured that in my mind, it was okay. We had to do what we had to do to survive until we got a full check. And then payday will roll around again, and then we have other bills that will need to be paid. However, we have Wi-Fi, car payment, and then the second big bill in this month is going to be car care. I have to pay DMV fees for registration and tags and so on and so forth. And if I have any money left over, I will just flop that money into my sinking funds. So if there's any money left from here or from here, I'll go, okay, well, now it's just going into the sinking funds binders. I have a revolving sinking funds binder now, and I also have a high priority sinking funds binder. I did get asked why I didn't add my house savings envelope into my high priority, and I will show you down the line when we get to doing some more sinking funds and savings challenges. However, let's go ahead and flip to the next page, which is going to be our budget. So instead of budgeting weekly like I used to, I'm budgeting for 2 weeks at a time. So this money will be from our paychecks, gig work, YouTube, Etsy, whatever comes on those days. I'm hoping down the line that I can utilize my YouTube check and Etsy to go towards a big goal. That would be really, really nice, right? Right. I don't do all of this side hustling, regular daily work, hourly work to suffer, right? I feel like that's the case right now because it's new to me. Not saying I haven't had a W-2 job. I'm 34 years old. I've worked a lot of jobs. I worked 2 jobs at a time to get out of debt, and get off of the homeless road, sleeping in my car. But I don't want to do it every day just to survive, right? So these things are things that we have to pay in October, and I'll list them off by paycheck. So rent is going to be for November. So by this time, by the 10th, I should have already had October's rent paid, and we're now working on November. So that way when November hits, that rent is already there. So half of the rent is $650, half of my car payment is $350. I got asked why I don't double my car payment because my car payment is too darn high. Too high. It's too high for me to double my car payment. The $700 I allot is over the car payment that I actually make, but it is definitely not doable. I'm not going to be able to put $1,200 or $1,400 towards my car on a monthly basis. I don't make that kind of money, folks. I'm sorry. I know it's a disappointment because I could cut my car cost in half, but I just can't do it. It's not feasible with my budget, even with my husband and myself full-time working and then some. Phones, we were going to put the phone bill together as one, but we found out through our phone company that splitting the bill in half doesn't cost us any more money. than usual, as long as that bill gets paid on that time frame, which we did it towards the 10th and the 24th of this month, so that way we could devise a plan, right? So phones will get 100. Insurance is due on this paycheck. That is a very high insurance payment. I don't know why it went up so much. I have been told by many budgeters in a lot of videos that I've watched as well that everybody's insurance went up. It was $179. I do carry additional insurance to do gig work, so it is a requirement for some of the apps that I do utilize to make that money. So I'm going to make sure to keep that on there because it's still my job. Utilities is $115. Credit card number 1 is $30. Will be paid down to $0. Filing for taxes. Costumes. I do have a 8-year-old and a 12-year-old boy. We are going to do our best to ensure that these kids get costumes this year. They got costumes last year. I just don't think that they were completely satisfied. Last year, I did $100 for costumes, and I think that they're going to want a little bit more because they're getting older. If my oldest does not want to go out and trick or treat, that's okay. I will send him his portion of the money. So I will hopefully be able to split this directly in half. And then if he doesn't go trick or treating, he'll get sent money. He can buy a game or whatever he wants to do with it. I haven't budgeted for groceries, pet supplies, or household because I consider that a variable expense that I am unsure of at this moment because I'm not used to buying groceries every 2 weeks. I'm used to buying groceries in bulk and then just buying little bits of groceries throughout the month. But we are going to need to fix our overall budgeting for groceries. I do have a sinking fund for bulk shopping, but right now I gotta survive, right? Pet supplies, I do need dog food, cat food. I need crickets. I do need to get, and I know you guys aren't gonna want me to say this, but I have a snake, so I have to get a rat. And my snake is small. He is still considered a youth. His name is Steve Irwin, or Steve. And he's like a noodle puppy. And he is very much so rescued snake. He was a snake that was owned by a little boy. So he is very, very, very patient with kids, which is really awesome. But those are things that I have to cover. I don't know if I need any household supplies, you guys. When I had my Amazon wish list, everybody bought household supplies off of that for us, and I appreciated that so much because it is stretched. I also don't use paper towels, paper plates, paper cups. I do not buy a lot of Ziploc baggies. There are a lot of things I just don't buy at the store. If I need a container, I'll keep a container from something like butter, like, margarine, or I keep the jars from my pasta so that way I can bring stuff to work. I do bring my lunch to work, even though I do work in a food-related job. I don't want to buy food. I don't want to eat food that's bad for you on a regular basis. We eat a lot of beans, chicken. We eat a lot of crock pot meals. I do a lot of one-pan meals, very, very cheap, but healthful meals. I do add salad, like spinach salad. I do like tomatoes. We do eat a lot of avocados, those kinds of things. I know avocados are like gold right now, so we'll see how that works. And then paycheck 2 is at the end of the month. This one's a little bit more bulky, I think, because all of these little bills really add up, right? So yet again, half the rent, half the car payment, half the phone, and then the other credit cards, and then our Wi-Fi and our car care. So car care is going to be the DMV costs. And then again, groceries, pet supplies, household supplies. So I will let you guys know this right now. We really busted our butt to make that $2,260. It was a little over. I think that this is doable. I think that this is definitely something we can do within a 2-week span. Each week or each bi-weekly, that I'm gonna have to get used to that, bi-weekly budget. I want to use the budget sheets I was using before, but I'm not really savvy with the computer, so I know there's a way to shrink it down to get it to fit in this book, but for now we're just going to use this because it's part of this budget planner and I really like it. I did not get to go do my nails because I have been so busy at work. I've been working 12, 11, 10-hour days, you know, long days, and then I go out and gig work. My husband has been working 8, 9, 10-hour shifts, and he has also been out gig working as well. So we are just jumping through hoops to try to get everything sustainable. That way, once all of these bigger things are paid, like the DMV and the taxes, we still have to pay taxes. We owe on taxes because we were self-employed. That's normal. It wasn't really all that much. I can tell you it was less than $1,000. But it is what it is. We gotta do what we can, roll with the punches, so that way in November and December when holidays come, we're not as freaked out. Things aren't, oh my gosh, this is all new and the holidays are here. I would not like that. I would be really upset about that, to be really honest. So I do have some savings challenges that I wanted to work on. If you guys know, then you know, this is a 12-month savings challenge that I'm doing once a week. I'm going to be adding money in to that particular month. There is 4 categories to color in, so 1 for each week. And then after that, I will leave the money in that month, keep going until the end of that 12-month span, and then we will decide where this money will be allocated. I did pre-color a little bit because I had a little boo-boo video that didn't get saved to my phone or computer or anything. So it is what it is. So we're going to be utilizing some tip money. I just put my tip money in an old zippered envelope, and this is just my tip money from my job. This is not from gig working or anything. I do receive tips on top of my hourly, so we're going to add 15 into the candy corn, and I just realized that I need to color in that other portion. So 5, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And this money can, from this envelope, can go into anything. Okay, like it doesn't have a home. It's just tips that I'm getting. And if I want to use them for something, I'll use them for something. If I want to share what I use it for, I will. If I don't, then maybe I buy myself a Starbucks cup. You know, things I don't splurge on very often or like ever. Maybe I go to a thrift store with it. I don't know. I'm just throwing out stuff and things, right? But most likely I will share it with you guys because I like sharing my budget and my money journey with you. You know, so we'll see. But this is $15, so that'll go into this envelope. And then we're also going to allocate the 10. And if we get ahead of ourselves on this, that's okay too. It's just a savings challenge. It's a savings challenge to save, just to save, because everybody needs to save, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I have $2 left over. I will put that back into that envelope. We're going to pop the money in there. put this back in. So we do have $25.05 to work on for the next few weeks of October. And if we get into November, that's cool too. But this doesn't necessarily have to have a home or rhyme or reason. I like savings challenges. I know that you guys think sometimes that I don't like savings challenges. I just mentioned before, it wasn't a necessary because when I was following the Dave Ramsey process to a T, we didn't do savings challenges, you know? It's just something fun to do and entertaining. I like watching people do savings challenges and I like doing them myself. I just don't stress about it. But just remember, you guys, do what you can with what you've got because it's all you have to work with. These are the parameters of the money that I need to make my bare bones budget, and we're gonna work it. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.